today's video we're going to be talking about colour packing and the way I colour a tattoo. But before we jump into the video, don't forget to like and hit the subscribe. I would be truly grateful as I want to get this channel off the ground. So let's jump straight into the video. What is colour packing or colour saturation? Well, basically colour packing is how well you pack the ink, the pigment, into the skin to get a solid, vibrant looking tattoo. We're not talking about the grey shading or the grey wash like we did in the other tattoo. We're talking about solid black and solid colour. When I do it, I don't like to water the inks down at all. Maybe only for some slight background effects or just a sitting wash of an effect. But when I'm putting the ink in, I'm putting it in solid. And I have a technique for doing this. It's nothing new. In fact, there's 3 types of techniques I use, but we're just going to go over one. This is the one I use for, like, let's say I'm colouring a koi or a dragon or something like that. Basically Japanese. The setup I like to use at the moment is a Bishop Wand 4.2 stroke. That's great for lining and great for colour packing. It has a nice good hit. I run the machine real slow. In fact, it's a bit like reverse psychology. The slower you run the machine, the quicker the work actually becomes. And the needle groupings I use are the opposite I do for black and grey. So for black and grey, I would use a polished bug pin. For colour, I use a size 12 textured needle. And the best needles I find for the best saturation are a 9 mag, a 13 mag and a 15 mag. It's rare I go any bigger than that for colouring tattoos and colour blending. These are all curved mags. I like to use Cheyenne, all curved. I may use a couple of straight mags like a 7 for getting in corners and things like that, but for the most part it's always the 9 and the 15 mag, and there may be a bit where I want to just use a 13 mag, but that is a typical setup I use. When I'm putting in solid colour, I like to hang the needle out quite a bit. I'm working off the tips of the needles and I'm going in at a nice angle. I've got the power turned down and I'm doing oval motions, overlapping. It looks like a slow process, but it's actually quite quick. Now the inks I use for colour work are Fusion, Dermaglow and Solid Ink. They are my favourites. I love them. I love how they yield, the vibrancy. Dermaglow's the easiest to work with. Solid Ink's the hardest to work with, but they all go good together. Each brand has good colours and bad colours, so it's just a matter of picking the right colours that suit the way I tattoo. Now, not everybody puts colour in that way. Some people put a light shade and then they go over with a wash. So like the more you wash your ink down, the easier it is to put in. What I mean by wash is water. You'll get a good smooth blend, but the problem with that is it's going to be light and patchy and it's not going to stand the test of time. So The way I put it in neat out the bottle, solid, and I have no problems with the right machine and the right needle, and it blends effortlessly. Now when I used to use coil machines, my technique was no different. I would use textured needles, same size, and I would use a long thread on the machine, and it's the same rhythm, the same technique. That's the way I do it. I wouldn't do it that way if I was doing a colour portrait or something like that, but for this we're talking about traditional colouring in and colour blending. And when I'm blending, I blend in the skin and also in the tube, and when I have my inks set out and laid out, it's kind of like our artist has his oil paints out and they're all intermixed. Sometimes the simplest and easiest way is the quickest and best. Now if you like that video, don't forget to like and subscribe and drop a comment if you want to see a video on something else, and I'll see you in the next video.